Hello and welcome to Narrowcast Boxing. It's May 20th, 2019. In this episode, I'll be discussing some fights from this past weekend, and I'd like to start with Naoya Inoue versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. This ended in a second round stoppage victory for Naoya Inoue. It was a close opening round, each landing good punches. Inoue winning the round for me slightly with the better jab. In the second round, Inoue landed a counter left hook that dropped Rodriguez. He got up but was met with pressure from Inoue, who landed a body shot and knocked him down a second time. The third knockdown was also on a body shot. Rodriguez did manage to get up, but the fight was waved off. The fight looked like it might have been competitive after the opening round, but Inoue really blew him away in 2 rounds. So this is kind of where my lack of knowledge regarding lower weight classes really shows. Inoue certainly looked very good, but it's tough for me to gauge how good he actually is. When you're knocking out world champions in less than 2 rounds, that's of course very impressive, but I get the feeling that it says more about the fighters he's beating than it does about him. I think time will really tell how good Inoue actually is. Continue watching him, and I would encourage any boxing fan to do the same, but I have to take these performances with a grain of salt. With that said, I will be favoring Inoue heavily to beat and most likely stop Nonito Donaire in the final. The headlining fight of that card was Josh Taylor versus Ivan Baranchyk. This was a unanimous decision win for Josh Taylor. The judges had it 117 to 109 and 115 to 111 times 2 for Josh Taylor. I scored the fight 116 to 110 for Taylor. I thought this was a competitive fight with a clear winner. Taylor, from the second round onwards, looked like he was obviously the better boxer. Baranchyk was throwing everything hard and seemed to be looking for the knockout with every punch. I got the feeling that Taylor would cruise to a wide decision at this point, but this became more competitive as the fight went on. Round 6 was a big round for Taylor. He managed to catch Baranchyk with a counter right hand as both of them were throwing and managed to drop him. Taylor continued applying pressure after the initial knockdown and dropped him for a second time in the round. Baranchyk recovered well, and it never really seemed like he was in too much trouble. Moving into the second half, I had Baranchyk mounting a comeback. Taylor was fighting on the inside, and he didn't really seem like he was getting the better of the action. I thought that he fought much better from the outside and did well enough on the inside when he didn't stay there for too long. Overall, I thought this was a good performance from Taylor. He's a solid fighter, but I don't see him as being elite level. His focus seems to go missing at times, and I would like to see him throw a harder jab. He tends to flick it out. With that said, the final between Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis should be excellent. It's a real must-watch fight. After this performance from Taylor, I'm leaning towards Prograis. I think if Prograis fought Baranchyk, I think he probably would have gotten a much cleaner victory. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.